Punctuation is fun, and that's the T. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me for today's episode of Learning from Home. Yesterday we looked at the bronze spag sheet, and today we're going to look at the silver spag sheet, punctuation for parentheses, colons and semicolons. Firstly, thank you so much to everyone who's been sharing their work with me. It's been absolutely fantastic to see that. Jack Hersey shared a particularly impressive Macbeth piece of work with me, and Owen and Marco have both sent me some of their spag work they've done so far, which is just brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing your work with me. Please continue to do so by emailing me at mrpriestley@bisley.surrey.sch.uk. So, brackets, dashes, semicolons and colons. Firstly, brackets, they look like this. Dashes, which are very useful, and commas, of course, are all used to indicate parenthesis when you want to add some extra information to a sentence. Remember, parenthesis is the posh word for a little bit of extra information you want to add in. I'm particularly proud of that sentence. So, question 1 asks, which of these sentences uses dashes correctly? A, Amelie, who was a well-known show jumper, cleared the jump perfectly. B, Amelie, who was a well-known show jumper, cleared the jump perfectly. C, Amelie, who was a well-known show jumper, cleared the jump perfectly. Or D, Amelie, who was a well-known show jumper, cleared the jump perfectly. Now, don't be tricked by the fact that this sentence also uses hyphens in the term well-known show jumper. These are two words that have been joined together with a hyphen to make compound words, and don't forget that hyphens and dashes are two completely different things, despite looking almost identical. But hey, since when has English ever made sense, right? The correct answer is, of course, D, because when you say it aloud, it's the one that makes the most sense. Amelie, who was a well-known show jumper, cleared the jump perfectly. A bit of an equestrian-themed question 1 there. Number 2. Insert a pair of brackets, commas, or dashes into these sentences. So really the key here is to identify where the extra information is, and if you read the sentence aloud, what doesn't make sense but would make sense if you put a pair of commas, brackets, or dashes in. A, the 29th of February, when it is a leap year, is known as Leap Day. B, the fox, the symbol of Bisley Village, is emblazoned on our jumpers. Challenge, find out what emblazoned means. It's a fabulous verb. C, Emma, along with Jivan and Max, was going on a school trip to French Guiana. Bonus points if you know what continent French Guiana is without having to Google it. Hint, we looked at the continent last year in year 5. And finally, D, Kyle was forced into accompanying his mother to her crochet class when he really wasn't looking forward to it. Question 3 asks you to insert a semicolon in the correct place in this sentence. Now, semicolons, it's important to remember, are used to join two clauses that are equally as important as each other. Neither one is dependent on the other clause, and as a result, that means that the two halves of the sentence joined by the semicolon would make perfect sense if they were two different sentences. They're also used to separate items in a list when that list is introduced by a colon, but we don't need to use that in this specific example. Again, with most spag, the easiest way to figure it out is simply to read it out loud and see where you will need a piece of punctuation. So, some people write with a word processor, others write with a pen or pencil. So that goes all the way through as one sentence, and you're going to need a semicolon where those two separate clauses need to be joined, and that is of course after processor and before others. So you get some people write with a word processor, others write with a pen or pencil. And finally, question 4. Have these colons been used correctly? If not, correct them. A, herons are beautiful creatures. They are statuesque and stately. B, Marco scored 3 goals, ate his lunch, and then read a book about Mongolian music making. Very important course of study there, Marco. I salute you. And finally, C. On the table, Max saw a celeriac, a jar of Marmite, 3 leeks, and alphabetti spaghetti. What on earth could be for dinner? Careful with that one. I'm not going to say anything, but I will give you the little hint that where there is a colon, maybe there should be another piece of punctuation instead. Good luck with this worksheet. Good luck with this worksheet. Tomorrow we will move on to gold, which is word classes. And also we will begin to look at this week's Macbeth writing task together. I hope this video has been useful to you guys. Thank you so much for all the positive feedback that I've had about it. It really does mean a lot to know that you guys are appreciating what I am doing. I hope you're all staying safe, stay positive, and remember, eagles, keep soaring.